I was very happy growing up in Champaign. I was always excited to go to school, and my teachers were great. Charlotte Anderson in high school was a brilliant English teacher who was part of the humanities program. And she really emphasized intellectual pursuit and also social responsibility. And that, I think, stuck with me.
I'm Pat Johnson, and how do I know Dianne? I have known Dianne for 60 years. I have known her as a neighbor, as a friend, as a classmate. I think she's written her whole life, starting with like English teacher at Edison. Then she ends up as a writer and a producer, which I think is pretty amazing.
My first husband was a landscape architect. He wanted to move to California. I said to him, okay, I'll go for 5 years, but then I want to come back. I would have been happy my whole life in Champaign, but I also didn't want to limit my experience to that. One day, my husband came home with a flyer, and he said, oh, look here, there's a class, and they're teaching script writing, and I think you'd be a good television writer. So I thought, well, this could be interesting. It's something new and fun and different and a new experience. And at the end of the class, the instructor said, I really like the script you wrote. Do you mind if I show this to an agent? And again, I go, well, why not? I don't know, sure. The agent took me on and represented me. And I started to get a few assignments, a few script assignments. I wasn't sure it was a virtuous pursuit. I wasn't sure I was contributing to society, that whole social responsibility idea. And then my mother got ill and had to spend several days in the hospital. As I walked up and down the halls, every room had a television on, every single room. And I realized, okay, there is something to this. It can provide a distraction from people's worries and concerns and can help them feel connected to the outside world. And I decided it was okay to do this, and managed to get hired on a show called Knots Landing. It wasn't long after that my first husband passed away. I had 2 young children. I was working with this man named Jim Stanley. And after a while, we started dating, and after a longer time, we got married. And there went my 5-year plan. It became a 40-year plan. We like to say we met on Knots Landing, we married on Homefront, and we retired on Army Wives. So
this is the first thing that comes to mind when I think of my dear friend. Is she's the most humble person that I have ever met. She'll talk about the actors and actresses and the producers, but she never talks about the awards she's won, all the work she's done, nothing. It's that humility that is so endearing, and it makes her, in my mind, what these young kids need to emulate.
What I would say to young people today is that I was very fortunate to have a good education, but whatever field of work you choose, I would urge you to get as good and as much education as you can in whatever form that takes, because the more knowledge you have, the better able you will be to take advantage of the opportunities that come your way, sometimes unexpectedly, as they did for me. So, yeah.